But that's beside the other stuff. That's what my brother got burned out. He was preacher got burned out. He was at children's home in Columbia. Boys Farm, Newberry. And he went back and preached. He lasted about another 6 or 7 years. Now he's a mortician. Now he said he always wanted to do that. Now his clients don't talk back to it. No.
But they also can't bring cancer.
Well, that's true, but you know, I was going to fix that, all right? Get in there. His brother who passed away.
If I want to make something.
Citizen comment?
Yeah, so I'm mayor.
Citizen.
I'm trying to figure a way out of it.
As long as it's on the agenda,
It's not on the agenda.
well, we keep things to what's on the agenda, what you want to talk about. Oh, the big band thing.
No, I'm not.
So, I will ask you the mayor's comments.
There is. I'll compromise.
Hey, Bill, is it lonely over there?
Give us a little. You and a big band tag.
Kind of quiet.
That'll kind of get you on there.
Got a lot of stuff talking
I'm going to go home too.
about. I think we're gonna be till 9:30. How's it time to do it?
I mean, my time's better than that. All right, it's 7 o'clock. And no work session. How about that? Yay, two meetings in a row.
It's coming back now.
Yeah, well, it will with the budget and all. But so we call the meeting to order and you can call the roll.
Mr. Brazil. Here. Dr. Houghton.
Yeah.
Mr. Farley. Here. Mr. Ellis. Mr. Brooms. Mr. Rich.
Here.
Mayor Goodwin.
Here.
We have a quorum.
We'll have the invocation by
I got it.
Councilmember Rich,
Thanks, Eddie.
followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
All right, gracious God, as we come before you today to discuss important matters, we ask for your guidance and wisdom. You are the source of all knowledge and understanding, therefore we seek your direction in our decision-making process. In your name we pray.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So next on the agenda was supposed to be an executive session, but if the council doesn't have any objections, we're gonna move that to the end, so these folks can get through and get out of here. And then maybe y'all won't ask as many questions in the end, right?
That's sneaky.
So we gotta.
Whose idea was that? Was that Joe's idea?
No, Joe was not in that loop. Mayor's comments, we're gonna have some staff reports this evening by Mr. Lutz and Mr. Pope, but before that, Mrs. Ashley's gonna give us a big band bash update.
Thank you very much, council. As you know, one of the things that really elderly people need is mixing with other people. They get kind of in their homes and left alone. So this year, the Senior Citizens Club has worked real hard to do some things that will bring out the elderly people and get them to mix and find other people in the community to become friends with. And so on April 25th, we're going to have the Big Band Bash, which is for seniors. That's anybody that's 55 and older. And if you would like to come, it would be really great if you could RSVP to Heather, thank you, to Heather here. And I have to stick in a thing. She is awesome, don't get rid of her.
We hope not. She's done great things.
Thank you.
You wanna go first or second? Second, first. Okay, so the staff reports first will be by Mr. Pope. He will be talking about,
So I just wanted to update council and our audience in the room and at home about a follow-up to our meeting with SCDOT for various road safety items on Folly Beach. Last year, towards the end of the year, we were able to arrange a meeting with several different groups of folks representing DOT and identify some road safety items. I want to let everybody know where we are on those. We have already started with traffic signal changes. DOT agreed to let us do, adjust the timing, relocate some buttons, change where the pedestrian walk signs are. We did phase 1 of that already, and we are looking on funding for phase 2, which will clean up the intersections some more, relocate the push buttons, some other things. I don't know if anyone's noticed, maybe it was last Tuesday we had the super high traffic day where we took the drones out. We also now have folks, our traffic engineers who are running drones, but we had 50% more cars than our historical highest ever day on a random day last week. And yes, traffic did back up to almost to Harris Teeter, but that's all it backed up. And I think a lot of it had to do with the traffic signal improvements, so we're gonna keep working on that. Another item was stop signs on 2nd Street West. We originally thought maybe Cooper Street would be where that stop sign ended up, but the data supported a new stop sign on 2nd Street West at Hudson. So there's a new 4-way stop now at that intersection. The road's gonna be painted this week, with a stripe on the road. So hopefully those folks who travel 2nd Street West have slowed down and noticed other folks slowing down and the pedestrians on that street. Folly Road and Bowens Island, we had a request last year from some residents at Pease Island and Bowens Island that the city look at the traffic pattern coming off the island so that folks leaving those communities could turn left. We are proposing to have the money for that study in the FY25 budget. In anticipation of that, we're going to bid out, we're working on RFP to bid out services to do the traffic study needed to identify the solution. I know the residents out there have a proposed solution, but we don't necessarily know that that's what the traffic engineers are gonna say. And then whatever the solution is, to see if we have the numbers there for DOT to approve it. A huge caveat is that anything that happens there would have to be approved by DOT, and DOT is a data-driven agency. So we're gonna pay for the study, we're gonna do the study, and if the numbers are there, we're gonna work on funding a solution. If the numbers are not there, we'll just continue talking to DOT. The pedestrian scramble at Center Street and Ashley, DOT actually didn't love the idea, but they were warmly, I guess, lukewarm to that idea. But we will continue to push that for them and see what they say. It's just not something that's done apparently often around. They did not give us the warm and fuzzy for implementing a pedestrian scramble at Center Street. We've also requested that they provide us, speaking of data, they have agreed to provide us a range of safety statistics on Folly, speed data, crash data, some things they do have, traffic counts, so we're on standby for that. And then tonight on the agenda, you'll see an award for a traffic safety plan. This is something that we need to do to give to DOT to make funding decisions, to make approval decisions, and also to apply for federal grants. So hopefully tonight you guys are going to award the contract for the firm to do our road safety plan, which will be the foundation of future requests to DOT and for federal funding. So that is where we are on the items that were identified in November. If anybody has any new specific road safety requests, please send them to us and we'll run them up the chain.
Can I piggyback on that real quick? Speaking to Kyle earlier, just to give everybody an update on something similar, Center Street traffic lanes, turn lanes will be repainted, restriped next week, Kyle said. I didn't realize how bad they were until this past week or two. But you can't even see the turn lane in some places.
I know I've told them, Eric, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, it was like all of a sudden it dawned on me, you can't get it. So The guys that usually do our striping have been tied up at the State Ports Authority on a big job, that's what they said. So they're coming next week and we'll get all those things. And pay attention on Second Street West at Hudson. That stop sign is easy to miss and run, so pay attention until we get that street painted, it'll help some, but pay attention to slow down and it'll sneak up on you if you don't. All right, Mr. Lutz, you're up.
Council, the mayor had asked me to give you guys just kind of a brief overview on some of the stormwater projects, improvements we've been doing over the last couple of years. A lot of these are kind of under the radar. Most of them are coordination efforts between DOT, Charleston County, and other agencies, but just kind of in a nutshell, we've done, so far we've installed 2,900 linear feet of pervious pedestrian paths on the island. Those actually do help with stormwater. They provide storage of stormwater underneath the paths by design. And in those projects, they've also improved on like the east end, closer towards 2nd Street. They've redid all the curving and the gutters and improved the stormwater pipes down there. We put in the ground 1,900 feet of new stormwater pipe. A lot of that was on 2nd East, and we did put in new pipe on East Ashley. That was going back almost 2 years now. We have hacked out with county and DOT. We've hacked out almost 3,900 linear feet of stormwater pipe underground. Did a lot of that right before storm season last year on Arctic, Center Street, and even back on Shadow Race where we have curb and gutter and piping underground. Again, a lot of that stuff is nobody notices because it's just there and I never think about it, but we've been able to work with these agencies to help us get it cleaned up. We've had 3 new tide check valves installed in different outfalls, and we've got 3 more in progress at the moment. They should be in before late summer. And we have done approximately 500 feet of protective storm brooms in different areas around the island to help with the high tide mitigation, keep some of those king tides from coming across the streets in certain areas. We will continue to look for other opportunities for this kind of low-hanging fruit. And we've successfully received $10 million in grant money from SCIP and RIA, and that is mostly going toward the Center Street improvements, which will also take all the conveyance systems from Center Street to 2nd Street East and improve those, be it ditches, underground pipe. We don't know the exact design yet. That's about 30% design, but they're shooting for construction to start early 2025. We have a completion date. We have to be done in 2026.
Okay, so looking for a full year.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one.
Yeah, I know.
Once we get going.
Well, it's only 1 season though instead of 2.
It's going to touch 2 seasons technically. That's all said and done. So that's going to be fun and exciting around here at that point. And we just got awarded $30,000 in hazard mitigation grant money. We just got the award letter last week for shoulder and drainage improvement on 2nd West and West Arctic. That'll be a combination stormwater underground piping and shoulder public pathway going from 2nd around the corner on Arctic and taking all the stormwater in that area and putting it to the right drains that are already there. And then last but not least, we were able to assist our environmental planner with 3 rain garden installations at the community center and the river park. And that is one of the keys for passive flood mitigation control. That's all I got.
Okay, and we got,
The 30,000 that was awarded, we have to do engineering on that, or is that all done?
That's for the engineering.
That is for the engineering.
We just got the letter last week. I have a kickoff meeting fairly soon on that one.
how many feet of pedestrian paths is put in?
We have 2,900 on the ground. We're working on, and I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that, we have another 2,500 in design and engineering now for the next phase to finish off the leak.
And I would say, not to let council pat themselves on the back, but I was thinking that has been a very good ongoing process that this council has done. Now we'll get to train people to use sidewalks.
And we are putting in money in the budget request for 25 to carry the path from down here on 2nd West to the bathrooms at 3rd West. That's not in the numbers I just gave you.
I appreciate it. And renourishment, bulldozers are on the beach pushing sand, so things are moving along. Okay, we have the approval for agenda.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Any corrections or additions? Mr. Pope?
Mr. Brazil?
Yes.
Dr. Houghton?
Yes.
Mr. Farley?
Yes.
Mr. Rich?
Yes.
Mayor Goodwin?
Yeah.
Approved.
Approval for the minutes from March the 12th. Have a motion to approve. We have a second?
Second.
Any additions or corrections? So you can take that one without objection. Personal appearances, Ms. Foster. There you go.
Thank you, Mayor, and the council for having me today. I'm Allison Foster with Charleston County Parks, and I am here to present Save the Light Half Marathon and 5K for 2025. We've submitted an application for February 8th. The event is a long-standing partnership with Save the Light organization, and it is here to help and support the preservation of the iconic Norris Island Lighthouse. There are no changes to the course or event application year over year for the past 3 to 4 years. And we have no plans to change any support. We get great support from the City of Folly Police Department to control traffic, and the operations will move along as normal for the event. Our projections continue to be around 750, depending on weather. For instance, the 2024 figures, we had 650 people actually show to participate in the event. It continues to drive families into the community. We continue to work in partnership as well with the Tides Hotel to facilitate our packet pickup distribution, and of course with Folly Beach Pier, and the only section of the street that is closed, or section of that is closed to traffic, is directly in front of the pier for the Star Line. Everything is done with a live traffic situation, and we do not use the beach.
Motion to approve.
Have a second?
Second.
Can we also add this to the list?
Yeah, there's gonna be a long list y'all gonna
Okay,
get.
yeah.
And so y'all won't have to keep doing this. We'll add it to the every year reoccurring kind of things.
I thank you
Because-
very much for that.
thank you.
I thank you for the opportunity. It's a pleasure.
And if we said no, you know, Richard Beck would be in here.
You might.
Yeah.
Mr. Rich?
Yes.
Dr. Houghton?
Yes.
Mr. Farley?
Yes.
Brazil?
Yes.
Mayor Goodwin?
Yes.
Passes.
Okay. This, another one to be added to the list of not having to show up every year.
We're gonna say no today, though.
I'm not saying that.
Right.
Hey, I'm Nancy Hussey, and I'm here to request permission to have Surfers Healing Folly Beach Camp on Wednesday, August 21st. It's our 16th year, so, and it's not the first day of school this year. Hallelujah. So we take kids with autism surfing, and we have a good time.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Mr. Pope?
Dr. Houghton?
Yes.
Mr. Rich?
Yes.
Mr. Brazil?
Yes.
Mr. Farley?
Yes.
Mayor Goodwin?
Yes.
Passes.
And if you get a chance to enjoy it or volunteer or just show up and see it, you know, it's a great
I'd love to see
day.
everybody out there. Thank
Yeah.
y'all so much.
You're not gonna make your normal
Thank you.
comment?
Huh? About it being the hottest day of the year? Well, see, it wasn't last year, so I can't say that now. Last year was kind of overcast and cool. Yeah. So she got me. After all these years, she finally got me. Miss Massey.
Constantly, thank you so much. This is my first time to asking for this.
So for the record, just give us your name and address. Thank you.
Roxana Massey, I'm the owner of the Latina Bazaar Market, and this is the first time that I'm presenting and requesting this permit to the Folly Beach City. I have been doing this market all around about 7 to 9 cities within the Charleston area. I moved the market just not to promote the local businesses, but also working with non-profit organizations to pretty much support. And this one is to support the Tri-County veterans that day, so we're gonna pretty much donate I'm partnership with Bruce Pop, the owner of the lot, so who is a veteran and also a small business owner. And we want to do this to promote the small businesses and help out the struggle that, all the local entrepreneurs have. So I think Folly Beach always bring a lot of people here, and it will be good for all the entrepreneurs also to be known for the tourists, not just the local area, but everywhere that people come to visit us. The idea of this is a great opportunity, not just for my business, but for everybody else. And I have already the logistic and everything, so I'm waiting for you to approve me to do something good, not just for the veterans, for also everybody else here. So, and if you grant me with that, everybody's gonna be super, super happy, and I will invite everybody to join us because it's gonna be on Cinco de Mayo, and I'm gonna do a Latina way market. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, let me know.
Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second? I got a question. How many vendors are you talking about?
Well, we were talking about 34, but then on the first hearing, they say that you may have questions, so we will adjust our agenda based on your approval. I would like just to see what we do, and if that is something that you really, really like, because I promote not just the local businesses, but also I incentive, all your local businesses here to work together with us. So I want you to see what I do, and hopefully you will approve me. We can negotiate the numbers, so I'm open to hear.
How many city resources are you looking at using?
Say that again?
Like police, that kind of thing, are you?
Well, we were talking on the first hearing, just probably one or two. I think the gentleman is here, so, right? Yes. So,
So how many places would that typically hold?
So as a full-size lot, it would normally qualify for 4 with no special approval.
And the booze pop truck would take up one of those 4, right? So you're talking about 2 or 3 food trucks other than the booze pop truck?
probably there will be only 3, so with him will be 4. But I think when you have restaurants here, so we can accommodate with 2. In that way, we bring something here, kind of Latina. I know you have readers, so I'm gonna be working with them also. I understood that they have one also event that day. It's something to integrate with the community, so I can bring something else different than Mexican, or so something on the Hispanic, Latino flavor.
I like the idea because it is something unique and different, but the number of vendors is very concerning. I would a lower number, especially for the first time.
Okay.
I would be in favor of that, of less food trucks and less vendors just in general. If you're looking at this map that you have, if you have that many vendors plus the 150, 200 people you're bringing, there's just no way. You're gonna be busting out.
So do we have a recommendation for the number, or how should we proceed?
Honestly, like, I'm just looking at this has 30 vendors plus 4 different trucks on it. You cut out the middle row, I would say no more than, and it is a full lot, I would say, no more than 20
I would say,
total.
15 with, you talking about 2
Two
food
more
trucks
food trucks.
and the booze pop truck, that's 3.
That's what I was saying, 20 including them, just total 20, and that's it.
Three
Just 'cause
trucks
that's
and
it.
15 vendors?
Okay.
So that would be 18
That's-
total, so.
18 total is fine. I said up to more than 20 in my mind, just thinking of lot size and people. The only other thing that,
So I don't know. You just
the
let
other,
me
the
know
other
the
question I had on your sheet, it said that you'll have music and DJs and all that. What were you planning on for this event in that realm? Because that's another area that we need to monitor in addition to the number of vendors, is the not necessarily noise, but if it's just projected music through speakers, there's nothing to hold it in. It can spread all down the island.
Yeah, my understanding, and I spoke with somebody and readers, they're gonna have live music. So we will not bring any music whatsoever.
Okay,
It's gonna be
perfect.
pretty much just.
Perfect.
Okay.
And that makes me feel a lot better.
The only other thing is, you're gonna really have to control people on the Ashley side coming and going, because, I would say, put up a barrier fence or
Yes.
something that kind of took them to the crosswalk, because of all those parking lots back there, so it gets a lot of traffic
Yeah.
right in that area?
I normally close out pretty much when, cavitation tapes or I have cones and everything, so I pretty much just tell vendors, as soon as you load, you just move, I'm gonna
Yeah.
guarantee them.
Well, no, I'm talking about your
No,
foot
the
traffic.
traffic, no, but also I'm gonna pretty much just make sure that they see the cones, and that way people don't try to
Well.
get into the parking lot as well,
Right.
so.
Well, no, I wasn't talking about that. I was
The-
talking about, I
just the
was
foot
talking about your
traffic and-
customers.
Yes,
You wanna make sure your customers don't spill out into Ashley,
Okay.
because that could be very hazardous with the amount of traffic that goes
Okay.
up and down that street.
I will make sure that I have signs, so stuff like that.
Or put up one of those orange fences or something, you know,
Okay.
just to make sure. So,
Sure.
so right now, it's like, y'all got any other,
I-
like
I-
18?
I,
I have another question.
Sure.
She's gonna go shuffle through the event committee just to make sure everything's on the up and upright. Just to make sure that they've got the signage, or at least just touch base with Andrew, more so than anybody, just to make sure from a safety standpoint. We're talking about a summer, May, was that Saturday, Sunday?
Sunday.
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 That's
So y'all-
high traffic, high vehicular, high pedestrian. Just for safety reasons, can we make sure she touches base with Andrew with the plan?
I think y'all already did
Yeah,
that.
so
uh,
luckily, I guess we know y'all by now, because I think we told her all the things we thought you guys were gonna say,
Yes.
and you kinda hit them one by one. So we did meet, and we kinda gave her the pointers about the number of vendors. We talked about specifically having like more controlled access, which was the reason for the officers, is to keep beer or other things from spilling out into the roadways off that private lot. We did talk about the noise, we talked about those other things, but given kind of her history outside this island, I think she has a good track record, and I think she seemed to be willing and able to work with our committee, and that was the reason why we kind of gave her those pointers and sent her to you guys.
Okay, cool. So, go ahead, ask your question.
I guess I was just going to it was procedural, it was a sense of, so we agree, 15, 3 trucks, working with the city, 2 police officers. So can we move to vote on that, or?
Yeah, that's where we're going.
Okay.
But I just wanna ask anybody else any
I'll do
questions?
that.
You good? Okay. Mr. Pope?
Mr. Farley,
Yes.
Mr. Rich,
Yes.
Mr. Rozell,
Yes.
Dr. Hooton,
Yes.
Mayor Goodwin,
Yes.
passes.
Thank you, guys. I hope to see you.
Okay. So, Aldieri, Ms. Aldieri, did I get close?
Very good, you were very good. I'm Dawn Aldieri. I've been working at Treasure Island for 14 years. I manage over there. I became aware when I started to look at licensing for food trucks that there's an ordinance, and we were hoping that you might expand it to include the commercial corridor, which is really only a couple businesses. It's us, I think Mariners K and Teeter. We think it would be a benefit for our customers and, for us as staff, and that we could do it without causing any issues. It'd be similar to we're a similar location to Crosby's. Our lot is quite a bit bigger though. I'm looking to do 1 truck at a time. I'm not trying to create a circus in our parking lot. Obviously, we need our customers' safety, all that type of thing. But we'd like to host 1 food truck at a time, various days.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
Have a second.
Oh, sorry.
But,
Sorry.
so her request right now is to change the ordinance, but what you're gonna say is,
Give her permission to just do a food truck or her property instead of changing the ordinance.
have they talked to y'all?
Who's that?
The-
The committee?
Yeah.
No, no, sir.
Okay, so I would say before we, as a condition, if anybody else got a question?
No alcohol or anything like that?
No alcohol, no. And I'll be there on property managing, and I run a pet shop, so.
So I would just
There'll be
say,
no litter, no problems or issues.
as a condition, you need to go to the events group, just so they'll know and when you're gonna
I
do
mean,
it.
we're not doing, not like a one-time thing. I wanna be able to do it.
Yeah, you wanna be able to do it every week, every day, or
I
whatever.
mean, as we can. I've had a great amount of interest. Personally, selfishly, I just wanna try all the different food. But we've had a big interest, a lot of different trucks. It's not gonna be like, I'm not trying to charge
Okay.
them rent or
Well,
anything.
You got a unique property off island, with your own lot and everything, so I
Yeah,
think
we have
just,
our own lot,
you
we
can
have
pick and
bathrooms.
choose, just as long as you know the parameters and get with them on that,
Yeah,
it
as
can be
far as the
fine.
rest of the
If we look
parameters
at,
of the
if we
ordinance,
change it
we-
at some point, we could just change it to alter it permanently, but.
But just 1 truck at a time.
This is the
Yeah, that's
exact
all
thing
it
of
is, one
variance.
truck. I mean, I have customers in and out of my parking lot. I don't wanna cause an issue. 1 truck at a time is what I'm looking
So is that the least intrusive way to allow 1 truck in that parking lot?
I guess, yeah.
legally? I mean,
Well,
or do
If
we
we,
have to
we
change?
can look at it and change it later,
We
it's
need to
just
change
because
the
we're forced to do it now.
I would just say, do it one time, see how it goes, and then we'll look at changing the ordinance. Because, you know, at least you'll have something to go on if you wanna change the ordinance. So you're gonna include,
I mean, it wouldn't really be any different than what Crosby's is doing, and I don't think that's causing any problems for anybody as far as I know.
oh, yeah.
Right. It causes problems because the line's too long.
Well, our lot is quite a bit bigger, and I mean, no one's gonna sit and beat traffic to go to a food
I did
truck
have a
anyway.
question. I did look at the lot. Do you have a visual for us to understand where the truck would be placed?
Yeah, I have 2 parking spaces that are right next to the large oak tree, so we have a big, surround, so I was planning to have them facing the tree so that their standing customers could be sheltered by that. We'll put cones and everything, make sure that it's, safety. But that seems like the best spot to me. It's close to the roadside, so they get visibility for their, and then plenty of time to pull in to our parking lot.
Right over here.
So just a process thing, are we, because like, it's not a one event thing, because you don't want them coming in for a day, but like, are we gonna grant like a variance for a week on our ordinance? Or I mean, for a month on our ordinance, or?
I personally would be fine to grant a variance for that property under the ordinance, and then if we notice, if they get with the event committee, they understand the parameters, if we see any problems, we can revoke it down the road and tighten up the ordinance. If we like it, we can just change the ordinance to allow it. But let them run a test run with a couple different ones. One, you're not gonna get a full
Well,
effect.
for the test run, let's go to end time.
Okay.
Is that what Joe says? I mean, Joe, you all right with that?
What's Joe say?
Yeah, I'm looking, do we have an ordinance that says?
It's a zoning ordinance.
It's a zoning problem.
It's only allowed on downtown Folly right now.
Four per lot, if there's
I
something.
I do think it should be limited. I mean, because it's difficult to change an ordinance that just by, this is essentially a resolution. You know what I mean? Especially a zoning ordinance that's supposed to go through planning.
Well, yeah, we're not changing the ordinance, we're just.
Well, I know, but if you make it a permanent thing, you kind of are.
Yeah,
We
well,
give them permission for say 3 months, and then that gives us time to look at it and get through zoning and everything.
I think that's a good
Okay.
idea.
Okay, then I'll make the motion that we give her permission to run it for 3 months. That gives us time, gives her time to get with the event committee and get their thing together, gives us time to look at a couple events, get it through planning and zoning, and if we like it, we can change it. If not, sorry.
So is part of that to remand?
wait a minute, do you have a second?
Yes.
No, that's just for
No,
now,
it's
then
not
we'll have to do
going
that separate.
It's not getting remanded anywhere.
We'll have to
Yeah.
remand
During
it
those
later in
3
the next
months.
meeting.
During the 3 months, so it's like a pilot program?
Yeah, it would be remanded to planning when you come back and say, I wanna change this ordinance. That's when you have to go through all the hearings and all.
Yes.
Anybody else?
Joe, you good with that?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Pope.
Mr. Bazell?
Yes.
Dr. Houghton?
Yes.
Farley?
Yes.
Mr.
So
Rich?
would that be like May 1st?
Hang on a second.
Mayor Goodwin?
Yes.
Passed.
Yeah, let's just say, said 3 months, so let's start May the 1st. How about
Okay,
that?
I appreciate
Just makes it easy to,
Thank you, and then just reach out to you guys after, or wait to hear from you if it's a problem.
we'll be getting some information, but I'm sure sure they'll reach out to you. Unless you put down a note to do that.
Okay, all right, thank you guys so much, I appreciate it.
Thank you. Mr. Neal? You're up.
Thank you, council. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. My name is Phil Bantman. I live at 1338 Ronald Lane on James Island. I'm the owner of Salt Marsh Surf. Currently, we are a surf school, licensed and insured on the Isle of Palms. We've been around since 2021. I kind of handed out a packet so you guys can follow along. We specialize in giving small group surf lessons and offering surfboard rentals, and we have a kids' summer surf program that's limited. It's not the size of the surf camps you guys have on Folly. That's all over there on Isle of Palms. Personally, I've been involved in the community and on behalf of the company, representing my company, I've been a part of Surfers Healing many times, volunteered with Youth to Ocean, which holds some nonprofit events out here on Folly, Courageous Kids. So very active in the Charleston surf community. I'm a Charleston native. graduate of the College of Charleston, but I'm here to ask you guys today for permission to conduct small group surf lessons and private individual scale surf lessons, and maybe a few surfboard rentals here and there at 9th Avenue West, which is, I think, the location that Youth to Ocean holds their events a few times throughout the summer as well. So it would allow me to be out there more and help them out with their events as the official surf instructor for Youth to Ocean. And just wanted you guys to consider, I'm proposing something that's gonna have a minimal impact on the beach, and it is, what I am proposing is small group surf lessons, nothing real big, and once again, I am specialized in working on the Isle of Palms already. I've worked for the last 4 years out there, and so I'm mainly planning on having most of my stuff going on out there on the Isle of Palms, and just wanted the opportunity to be able to offer this service out here on Folly Beach. And I know there are a lot of other surf schools out here, but this would just be a really sporadic, occasional service that I would be offering out here. And I think it could provide an opportunity for maybe training up some local surf instructors from the Folly Beach community and getting them working for me out here, and also just enriching the services that we offer on the beach to tourists coming to visiting the island. And so thank you guys for your time. And let me know if you have any questions. Or
Have a motion to approve? No motion. No motion to approve, that means you're turned down.
Okay, well, is there any way I could come back next year, or is there any information you have as when I should apply to be able to let into the club? So
Well, it ain't a club, but you can get with Mr. Graham,
Okay. Yeah.
and he can tell you, get your name on the list of whatever, when it goes out to say, hey, it's time to apply.
Yeah.
Or it's time to bid on these surf, whatever.
So I have been in touch with the city for a number of years about this, They let me in, I was the first guy to be let to give the commercial surf lessons on Isle of Palms. And I have all the requirements to give the lessons as far as the insurance, and I've already applied. And
Right.
they have a formal process over there where they restrict me to the group size. So I just wanted you guys to know that it would have been with the small groups and everything.
But we just got so many already.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, well, maybe I'll come back next year. Thank you so much.
He'll tell you when you get ready.
Okay, you got my email. Thank you.
Mr. Peterson or Corey? I assume it's Mr. Peterson when I read Corey, but.
Good evening, council. Good evening, mayor. I'm going to read this so I don't forget anything. I apologize. My name is Corey Peterson, and I live at 114 West Erie Avenue here in Folly. Since purchasing the home in 2020, we've experienced worsening flooding within the home, and unfortunately, dirty water has become an increasing issue. We all understand the area is prone to flooding, and we do our best to combat it. Our problem stems from our antiquated septic system, sitting and standing water, overflowing, and due to other issues currently being worked on, we get this overflow inside the home. To help resolve these issues, we are currently working with Mountain Valley Foundation to help with several foundation problems that we have. Pilings have been installed along a portion of the rear of the house, but work was paused as the current septic tank and piping blocks a prime location for a vital piling. With the possibility of connecting to the sewer line and thus the ability to eliminate the septic and line that are in the way, a much more solid piling can be placed. Once the pilings are complete, the house will then have foam sprayed via holes drilled into the foundation to help lift and seal the concrete from below. In addition, a drainage system has been designed to help remove the standing water from the back of the yard. I also attempted to get other septic companies on site to discuss this issue and find a solution, and was unable to get anyone to even respond, let alone to make a proposal. So I reached out to Knight Septic, as they had done work on the system before. My initial thought was that Knight had not done a great job, and that was why we were having septic issues, so I was hesitant to reach out to them initially for more work. After many phone calls, I got in touch with a supervisor, Tom, who was willing to come to the house and discuss the issues. Tom could not have been more helpful, as he filled in numerous gaps in my knowledge, as nothing had been conveyed from the previous owners. Tom explained that they had tried resolving this dilemma in 2017 and again in 2020, and they were out of ideas. Tom explained that the best move by far would be to connect to the city sewer, as we were not too far off from the existing lines. With that recommendation from Knight Septic, I reached out to Kyle Sullivan at City Hall to discuss sewer line connection. He then got me in contact with Charles Rook from B&C Land Development. Kyle, Charles, and I walked the intended pipe path, agreed it was a simple, even a one-day job, and set out to get city council permission. Once the pipe is run, Knight Septic said they could use the existing house lines to connect to the sewer line in a day's work. They would also decommission the current septic tank and remove it from service forever. The foundation work has begun, the remainder is scheduled, but it's been paused. We are fully permitted and ready to be completed. The proposal from B&C Land Development is fair, we have agreed to it, and with your permission, I expect we can get it sorted and completed quickly and without disruption to any city affairs. We have visited Folly for over 20 years. Friends from college moved here after school, and we made it a point to visit almost every year. In 2020, after many family discussions, we agreed that Folly was to be our place. We found the house, purchased it thinking we could move here after our daughter graduates from high school, and now with her desire to attend USC, living in Folly makes even more sense for us. This is not and never will be a rental home. This work could allow this to be our home for years to come. In its current condition, I'm not comfortable inviting friends to stay with us for fear of a high tide rain that will bring water into the house. We would love to get this work done, eliminate a septic issue from the island, and enjoy our dry inside home for years to come. Thank you very much for your consideration. I have a letter, I'm sorry.
Mr. Sullivan, this is how big of an expansion of the sewer line?
I have paperwork from B&C if you'd like to see it even.
Well,
Yes, sir.
he can answer.
Understood. Yes, sir.
It's approximately 300 feet extension on.
So you're gonna extend the sewer line 300 feet.
Approximately 300 feet, yes, sir.
Do I have a motion to approve?
That's all.
Uh,
Is the cost all borne by the homeowner?
Yes, sir.
Well, before we discuss it, I need a motion to approve.
Motion, just for discussion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second for discussion. 300 feet's a long way. And you're looking at, I mean, where's the closest sewer line? And where do they have to tap into from his house?
It'd be on the east side of the Catholic rectory, between the rectory and, what's on the corner right there?
Surf shop.
Surf shop.
Well, the problem is we've never extended the sewer line. That's been a no-touch situation forever, so, I mean, we turned down a guy to just go across the parking lot, 70 feet. So it's,
300 feet's a long way. I mean, we've had people that have had, in similar situations, have had engineered septic systems and other things that have built in so it's above ground, and they've worked just fine.
Understood.
Have you looked into that possibility at all? Because
I have a letter from Knight Septic, the
I know,
president, telling us that they cannot come up with a solution to this.
that doesn't, no offense, but I hear you.
Understood.
There's other people that have figured it out with very small lots that have had the same problem, and they figured it out no problem. I'm not a big 970 fan myself.
Understood.
So I'm saying there are other possibilities out there I think you should look into, and then when you've exhausted all those opportunities, I think maybe you should come back, because as long as I know there's other opportunities out there, I'm not willing to extend the sewer line.
And I
Now,
have,
if it's completely voids, let me finish.
I
If it
apologize.
completely voids your house and you're having constant problems, I'd be more sympathetic if you'd looked at all opportunities. Because you are the commercial district, there's no condos going up where you're at, you know, we've kind of done a lot of that away, but until you've exhausted all those other options, 300 feet's a long way. And Mayor's right, we've turned down 70 feet to a parking lot before, because extension of the sewer raises every resident's eyebrows out here. So I would look into those other options with a different company or somebody else first, because I personally know of beachfront lots that have had the same problem, that have an engineered system. My parents have one, and it hasn't failed one time. It's been nothing but a joy.
I have reached out to every septic company that I've tried. I've been here for a month and a half. I live in Virginia, and I've been here alone trying to get this resolved. I couldn't get a response. A1 is the only company that said they would come out for 2 weeks, and I don't have his name. I waited.
You need to get in touch with Mr. Lutz, and he can get you in touch with the engineer to design the system.
Yeah.
We have them all over the island.
Understood. Yes,
So
sir.
you talk to Mr. Lutz, he can help you out. But now we have a motion and a second, so
Well, the reason why I asked was because all this cost is borne by the homeowner, is that right? It's not a cost to the city. And, you know, we talk about environmentally getting rid of septic tanks, about, you know, we don't like the damage they do, we don't like the danger they propose, we don't like the effect they have on the environment. And we really don't extend the sewer line because we're afraid of multi-housing dwellings coming in. It's really sort of,
well, actually, a good working septic tank has less impact on the environment than a sewer line, because there's a sewer line is considered watertight, but there's X number of leaks it can have in every 1,000 feet.
Right, and then
And
it's a
so,
massive leak.
so,
But
yeah.
I-
No, not massive leak, that's a continuous leak every day, and it's still considered watertight. So if you look at all the real data about septic
And
systems,
that's
if
the
they work.
data that we heard, 6 years ago. And then we hear data a year ago about the dangerous septic tanks.
That's depends on who you talk to and what group is trying to push, whether they want septic tanks or sewer lines.
It is, but that's the data that comes before us, and that's what people talk to us about, and those are things that we have to consider. And I'm not a sewer, nor am I a septic tank, but if it means extending it 300 feet to keep an environmental problem from happening, then I'm for it. But if Mr. Lutz can get involved and an engineer can come up with a different solution that doesn't involve extending it, I'm all for that. So I won't vote in favor of my own motion. I can withdraw it, I guess, or
No,
we
just-
can
just
vote
vote.
it down. But I would like to see everything exhausted too. But I am sensitive to the fact that,
Well-
one less septic tank is not necessarily a bad thing either.
Well, like I said, we have engineering systems all over the island.
Yeah, between we have engineering systems all over the island, I think he has some other options, and we'd have to tighten up some other laws to avoid any kind of worry
All
before
right.
we do that.
I would have to ask, I don't know who else will do work at this house. I have.
We're gonna send you over to Mr. Lutz, who's our building guy, and he's gonna put you in touch with him.
Everyone told me no, and then once everyone heard of the situation, they said no.
Well,
We just said, we're gonna turn you over to our building facilities director, who knows the engineers to sign it up for you. If you'd like to go that route, that'd be great.
Yes, sir.
We're trying to show you which way to go.
yeah, you're gonna have to talk to an engineer and not a septic company, not the guy that pumps out septic tanks.
Understood. This is from the president of the company, if you will, and they have.
I understand,
They have been
but-
out multiple times, multiple years. And
I understand, I got it, I understand completely. Mr. Pope.
Dr. Houghton,
No.
Mr. Bazell? No. Mr. Rich?
No.
Farley?
No.
Mayor Goodwin?
No.
Fails.
Okay, citizen comments. No commission or board reports this evening. So we're into old business, ordinance 0324, and this is second reading, an ordinance amending the standard of marine commercial zoning district by amending table 16501 dimensional standards to set the maximum lot coverage to 35% for all uses in the marine commercial district. Have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Have a second? God, y'all got some weak seconds. Any discussion? All right, Mr. Pope. You all right?
Yes, sir. Mr. Rich?
Yes.
Farley?
Yes.
Dr. Houghton?
Yes.
Mr. Bazell?
Yes.
Mayor Goodwin?
Yes.
Passes second.
So, second reading for ordinance 00424, ordinance amending the standard of the residential two-family zoning district by amending table 16501, dimensional standards to set minimum lot area to 10,500 square feet for all uses in the residential two-family zoning district. Have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
I agree.
Any discussion? Mr. Pope?
Mr. Bazell?
Yes.
Mr. Farley?
Yes.
Dr. Houghton?
Yes.
Mr. Rich?
Yes.
Mayor Goodwin?
Yeah.
Passes second.
Resolution 12-24, resolution by Folly Beach City Council awarding RFP 03-2024 for the Folly Beach Living Shoreline Demonstration Project to Weston and Sampson Engineers for $65,000. Have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Rich?
Yes.
Mr. Bazell?
Yes.
Mr. Farley?
Yes.
Dr. Houghton?
Yes.
Mayor Goodwin?
Yes.
Passes.
Resolution 13-24, resolution by Folly Beach City Council awarding RFP 04-2024 for Folly Beach Transportation and Traffic Safety Action Plan, awarding to Kimberly Horn, $40,000. Have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Do we have some background as to why we're not going with the lowest bid, and that's a company that we've worked with before?
Sure. We looked at the disparately varied prices there. Fortunately, everyone that responded was qualified, and we sent it to staff, and Kinley Horn had done Mount Pleasant's safety, I think this exact plan already in Mount Pleasant, and based on their experience and timeline, there were more staff members who chose that one. It was close enough that, you know, it was between those two.
Close enough to spend 5,000 more, or close enough not to
Right.
spend 5,000?
Well, no, close enough to spend 5,000 more. Yeah, I mean, we thought the two were the two that we narrowed it down to, and either one, but because Kinley Horn had done the Mount Pleasant, that's why we want it measured out.
Any other
That's the
questions?
same question.
All right, Mr. Pope?
Mr. Brazil?
Yeah.
Dr. Hooton?
Yes.
Mr. Farley?
Yes.
Mr. Rich?
Yes.
Mayor Goodwin? Passes.
Okay, so I have a motion to move to executive session.
I hope I should skip executive session.
Come on, guys, let's go get your information.
Motion, we move to executive session.